Hey everyone, this is Dave from Diverge Design, and I'd like to welcome you to this video where I'm going to be taking some handwriting and I'm going to be creating a font with Fontself within Adobe Illustrator. So, hey doggies, lay down, chill out. So first off, Fontself does not come with Illustrator. If you go to fontself.com, it's an extension within that works within Illustrator. So you have to buy it. It's like $40 or $50. I think $40. Totally worth it if you want to make fonts. Very easy to use. Stop, Gomer. Get down. And if you're familiar with Illustrator, it's really easy to create fonts really quickly and seamlessly. And then in terms of spacing and kerning and that kind of stuff, it's a really nice tool to help you get that stuff figured out really easily and do very little work on your end. So first off, this right here is a template that I got. Stop. That I got from Fontself, and you can download it and then open it in Illustrator, and it just has all the guides and stuff that you need. Why is this? Okay, and then you can just import your characters into here, resize them, or you can just create the characters on this template. So if you want to create the characters within Illustrator from scratch. If you want something like really clean and pretty. But if you wanted to use handwriting and you're taking it from an image or something like that, I'm going to show you how to do that. So I made some characters in Procreate on my iPad really quickly, and I'm just going to import those and show you how I would do that. So I have a new layer. This is the only thing on that layer. And I'm going to, now that this being said, if you're doing it this way, I made it a little bit easier on myself because I used this template in Procreate and I just traced over them, more or less. So if I was to drag it over there, it would be pretty similar to that template. So I'm going to go to Window and then Image Trace, and then it brings up this little window here. I'm going to go ahead and trace it. And then Preview should be on here. I'm going to open up Advanced. Now, all this stuff, you can play with it and see how you like it, but for this video, this is all pretty good. Especially because there's not a lot of noise, there's not a lot of corners, it's pretty smooth. I'm going to keep the threshold in the middle. I'm going to move the corners down a little bit. And then the most important part is ignore white. Click ignore white, and it will get rid of the white space. And then it keeps tracing it for me anyways, so I can just exit out of here. I like the way it looks for the most part. And then I'm going to go to Object, Expand, and then have Object and Fill checked, and then hit OK. And now I have this grouped layer that is ready to import to move over to the template. So I'm just going to move it over as a group. Quiet. All right, and then I'm going to resize it so that it kind of fits on the template. There you go. All right, and then I'm going to ungroup everything. And I think I have to do that twice. And then everything is ungrouped. And then I will go through and anything that needs to be grouped again, like these letters, when you import it into Fontself, they need to be one character. So group the things that need to be grouped that have like more than one object per character. This does, this, and this. Okay. So every character should be grouped correctly now. And then I can resize everything and try to make sure your smart guides are turned on. Go to View and then Smart Guides, or Command U or Control U, I'm assuming on Windows. And you can kind of center everything up this way. All right. I'm going to go ahead and speed this up, and then when I'm done, we'll come back. All right, we're back. Edited some of these characters, but once you get everything the way you want it to look on the template, again, the template is very handy. Go to the website, use it. We're going to import it into Fontself. So if it's not over here on your toolbar, go up to Window, Extensions, and then open it up there. So it says you can drag and drop your letters here. So I'm going to select all my letters. Stop. I'm going to select my uppercase letters, and then I'm going to drag them in here, and you can see it lets you choose where you drag it. But I'm not going to do that, actually. I don't like to do that for some reason. So I'm just going to select all the uppercase, and then I'm going to click uppercase. Shh. No. Okay, and then it imported them, and it recognized them because they're fairly legible. And then you can click on them and adjust them within this little box frame thing, however you like it. Because it may not read the guides exactly the way you intended. So, got a whiny puppy, man. She is so whiny. All right, so that's my uppercase. And then you see this live preview here, which you can change the way it looks. You can do white on black. Whatever. You can center, right align, left align. You can zoom in, zoom out. You can change how large or small it is. And then you can actually type in here. So I can just like type things. If you type characters that you haven't imported yet, then it'll do things like this, where the period looks really weird and spaced funny. Everything is actually spaced pretty funny until you, space it and kern it. So let's go ahead and do the lowercase. So let's select all the lowercase letters and then click lowercase. And then you can adjust these. You can also double click and adjust it within this large box. And then it gives you parameters that you can adjust in small increments. And then you can exit out of it. I'm going to quickly go through and adjust some of these things. You can also change the baseline and like the default parameters for all of the font itself, but I don't suggest it. I just use what is default in the program if I can. Okay. Cool. Uppercase and lowercase done. And then I'm going to select my 0 through 9 characters and then hit 0 through 9. Those all look pretty good. And then I'm going to select a few of these at a time and hit batch because it doesn't like to read these. It doesn't really have a way of doing that. Cool. So now everything has been imported, but you see these like orange things. These are all characters that have not been recognized. They were batch imported. So what I like to do, especially because some of these I just like don't know how to do on the keyboard. Well, some of them, like this guy, and especially when you get into the advanced characters. So the easiest thing to do there, just to make sure that you're doing it right, is to go up to layers and then unlock the selectable characters layer. Go back to Fontself. Make sure this is lined up and ready to go. Go down to selectable characters. Hit T for the text tool. And then start copying and pasting over. And all I do is just hit Command C, Command V. Command C, Command V. And if you use the template, all these should be in order anyways. So it's real quick to just go back and forth, back and forth. Okay, so if you're able to hang on, I got everything imported. Everything looks like it should be aligned the way I want it. Typically the one that has issues is the underscore, but that looks okay. So we got what you have to watch out for, like apostrophes and colons, semicolon. Sometimes those don't want to align properly. That guy should be up there. This guy should also. Okay, so now you can go up here. Whoa, what's going on there? And you can just type things in like Dave is doing a Fontself tutorial making fonts main. Okay, so as you can see, there are some spacing issues here. So I'm gonna go to Smart and then Smart Space and Kern, and like in moments, it fixes everything. So it all looks pretty normal, and it says you just saved 13 hours and 35 minutes. So sometimes it will adjust things the way you don't want them to, so you have to go back and make some adjustments, but for the most part, everything looks pretty good. So once you get it the way you want it, and you can go in and go to advanced And there are all kinds of tests you can run, and you can adjust all these different parameters, the left, the width, the right, on all of these characters. But it gives you all these different combinations of letters, so you can test out different things. And as you can see, like, I don't have this character in there, so that's too bad. But if you don't like anything, if there's like a letter that you don't like that looks kind of weird, like I think the A looks kind of thin compared to everything else. So I'm gonna go back up here, and I'm going to take this A. Come on. I'm gonna take this A, and I'm going to go to properties, and I'm going to give it a little bit of a stroke. And then I'm going to expand. Okay. Let's try that again. Nope. Okay. Well, that's fine. I'm going to Command 8 it. No, that one doesn't work either. Okay. Well, hopefully this works. I'm going to drag this in, and I'm going to replace it. So now it's a little bit thicker. And then I'm going to go back and I'm going to do the smart spacing and kerning again because it takes like 5 seconds. And then the A looks a little bit better. Yeah, it looks more like everything else. So play around with it. Hopefully this sells you on the program or the extension, the plugin, whatever you want to call it. Once you're done, you can save it as whatever you want to call it. So I'll call it tutorial font, and then you can put it wherever you want. I guess I had already done that. And then install, and it'll install it on your computer. But the saves it as a typeface. So then you can take it, and then like I said earlier, maybe I didn't. If you want to make like a bold or italic or whatever alternative version of this, you just go to new, and instead of going to new font, you go to new style. And because if you start a new font, it says regular up here. If you start a new style, then you can select one of these, or you can do something else. What if you want a condensed or wide or whatever you want to call it. So then I can start doing a bold font. Anyways, that's Fontself. That's not everything in Fontself, but that's how I do it. It's not really that complicated once you get into it. It froze up on me a million times today. I don't know why, but it's like any other program or anything else you do on the computer. It's temperamental sometimes, and you have to figure out how to make it work. And I did. So yeah, please subscribe, like, comment, and let me know what you think. Have you used other font makers or applications before, and how did those work? How do you compare the 2 or 3 or whatever? And what would you like to see next? I'm gonna keep doing some fluid art videos, probably every day or every other day. And yeah, I'd like to hear from you. Let me know what you think. Try to support me. Check out my website at divergedesign.com. I've got some merch up now, and some other things in there. I do fonts, I do logos, graphic design, what have you. So hit me up, or just support and share. Thank you very much, and I'll see you later.